Hi children, welcome back to the class, and here we are discussing about forest, right? In the previous session we learnt about the uses of forest. So in the beginning onwards we are learning more and more about the forest and how precious it is. We learned about the water and about the soil you are going to know, and about forest we are learning, right? So here forest gives us everything and it requires nothing. It doesn't ask even your help, but here it is interconnected with each other. That's why indirectly it is depending upon you, but there is a much benefit to the living beings from the forest. So here forest, they has the capacity to regenerate. They have the capacity to regenerate themselves. It can able to regenerate. What is meant by regeneration? Producing again means naturally the forest plants, they have the capacity of reproducing. They have the capacity of reproducing. For example, whenever the forest floor animals die, or any animal die in the forest, what happens? Animal or plant, it is going to fall on the surface of the soil. So when they fall on the surface of the soil, these animal dead bodies or plant dead bodies can be decomposed by the decomposers. It is decomposed by decomposers. Now these decomposers, they decompose the dead body of plant and animal, and they are going to add the minerals to the soil. They add minerals to the soil. Now by using these minerals, a plant can able to grow into a tree. A plant can able to grow into a tree, right? Now this tree, it produces fruits. Now these fruits are eaten by the animals or birds. Now there is a seed dispersal. There is a seed dispersal. Because of seed dispersal, now the seeds can move from one place to another place because of animals or birds or sometimes tribal people, human being. They can carry the seeds from one place to another place so that they can able to grow. They can able to grow in other places naturally. Whenever it lands on the normal nature, means comfortable soil, then automatically they become the new plant. They become new plant. Like this they could able to grow. For example, nobody grows the people plant, right? The people plant, nobody wants to grow them because it is a used tree. When it become used, it is going to cover a lot of space, so that no one grows here. When you observe here and there at the walls or at the holes, at the corners or on the roadside or on the top of the roof, you could able to observe growth of people tree or people plant. How do it grown here? The seeds of the people tree, they are very minute and it can be carried by the wind. It can be carried by the wind. So these seeds, they are going to disperse with the help of wind and they scatter here and there around the field. Now whenever they reach to comfortable zone, then they become new plants. Like this, plants can able to renew themselves, they reproduce themselves, and they utilizes the nutrients that are available in the forest soil. By taking up them, they can grow healthy and they maintains the forest green. They maintains the forest green. Have you understood this? Right? So like this, forest itself, it can able to regenerate. It can able to regenerate in their own, right? So here animals also involve in regenerating the forest, or they help the forest animals. Number one, they involve in seed dispersal. By the seed dispersal, their number of plants increases. Now seed, when it reaches to the zone, comfortable zone, seed becomes seedlet. plantlet, and plantlet become sapling. Plantlet become sapling. Okay na? This sapling it grow into the plant, and plant becomes tree, tree becomes used tree, like this, right? So here animals involves in seed dispersal, and as well as they involve in pollination. They involve in pollination. Animals involve in pollination. What is meant by pollination? Pollination means transfer of pollen grains from one flower to another flower. So this pollination can be done by animals like insects, butterfly, bees, dragonflies or other flies. When they jump from one flower to another flower, they are going to carry the pollen grains. They carry the pollen grains, right? So like that, pollination increases. When pollination increases, wide variety of plants can be grow, variety of flowers can be grow because of pollination, right? And second use is that the dead animal bodies, they include nutrients to the soil. They add nutrients to the soil by their decomposition of body. So the decomposers like bacteria and fungi, they decompose the dead body of the animal and they add the nutrients to the soil, forest soil, then forest will grow. So in the growth of forest, animals also involving by the pollination, by dispersal of seed, by applying the nutrients, the forest area increases. Forest area increases, right? So like this, the forest can be regenerate. Either itself it can regenerate naturally, or with the help of animals also it can able to regenerate. So let us see, why do the forest trees are getting cutting down? When we know the value of forest, why do we are cutting the forest trees? Why we are doing deforestation? So here cutting trees in the large number, cutting trees in the large quantity, it is called as deforestation. What it is called? Deforestation. Why we are doing deforestation? Why we are cutting down the tree? Cutting down the trees. Why do we cut the trees? We know very well that day by day the human population is increasing. Due to increased human population, their need also increased. For example, when the family members increases, then we need new shelter, right? For the shelter purpose, we are cutting lots of trees in the forest, right? For example, here it is the forest, 100% forest. Now the people population increased, so these trees are now this is 100% forest. Now for the purpose of shelter, we have cut down a little amount of trees from the forest. We remove forest area. And second one, for the agriculture purpose. Why? Because the population is increased. Population has increased. To meet the population value, then we have to cultivate more crop. For the more crop, we require more land. For more land, we are going to cut down some more space, right? Now when population increase, their needs are increases. When their needs increases, we have to construct the factories or industries. Factories or industries should be constructed. For their purpose, we are going to destroy some more plants. We are cutting the plants, right? And as well as here, for constructing roadways, or our living wood buildings, we are going to destruct some more plants, right? And some medicinal important plants are economically important plants. Economical plants are day by day they are going to cut it down, so that some more amount of forest is finished. So out of 100%, the human has completed these percentage. Now only I think near about 10 to 13% of forest is remain on the earth, right? When we know that lungs, forests are the lungs of the earth, We know that forests are lungs of the earth, even though we are destructing our lungs ourselves. Do you breathe, do you live without lungs? No. Then how can you live without forest, without plant? Definitely we are going to die when there is no forest. Temperature increases, bad effects already we know very well, right? So because of the destruction we will die. We will die. So remember this thing. We should not do deforestation. Deforestation is equally cutting your neck, yourself. Yourself you are cutting your neck or you are damaging your lungs. Right? Means suicide, attempting suicide. Cutting trees is nothing but attempting suicide. Right? So respect trees. Do not cut the trees in the forest. If it is possible, try to plant the trees and increase the greenery. It will help the nature to be fresh and it makes us healthier. So don't do deforestation. Don't do deforestation and fight for the afforestation and increase the forest plant. And it, so we should not cut the trees in the forest. And here if you increase the forest, then automatically the earth become greener and it protect us from the harmful effects of drought condition, right? We never get drought, we never get any hotness, means global warming will be decreased and fresh air will be available, right? So these are the advantages because of forest. So it is our duty to protect the forest, so that in the further lesson we are going to learn how to protect the forest and what are the bad effects causes if you disturb the forest, right? We'll discuss in the next class. And very soon you are going to have first term exam, so be prepared for that. I will give you the syllabus in the WhatsApp and as well as our school app, and be ready to write the exams, right? Thank you.